You can always tell when you're on the right track to something because the world just tries to stop you in any way that it can. It's not really the world, it's just the evil of the world because they don't want you to see the truth. Now, personally, I don't understand why we are seeing people themselves as demons. Humans are humans, demons are demons. It is not people who are demons. It is their choice to follow this demon. It is not them themselves that are this demon. They are choosing to follow this demon. It is everything, isn't it? So, it is wrong for us to call a human being a demon. We can think of it this way. No one on this earth has lived their life perfectly. And during that time that we ourselves were following a demon, others outside of us were perceiving us as a demon. It was our choice to see this demon. It was our choice to rebuke this demon. Now, we perceive someone as a demon and then we decide ourselves that they are unworthy of God's grace. I can go into it personally. Personally, I had a struggle with anger. Everything I felt was channeled into anger. I came to the understanding that it is easier to be angry, for that anger is actually you blaming someone else for how you're feeling. But I was perceived as a demon. That is all anyone saw, was just the demon of wrath in me. Not actually understanding that these demons are not actually within us as they are in our ear, standing behind us, wanting to work us as a puppet. And we choose on whether we are going to allow that demon to do so. Now, personally, I really don't believe in taking out this verse and that verse just to fit a narrative. I see that as manipulative, because I feel like you need to actually understand the whole story in order to actually gain the whole message. However, I have come to this understanding that the Bible has been separated into verses for a reason. And that reason is because every story within the Bible has many lessons, many of teachings. And so, to say that the story itself is the only meaning would be wrong. So, I mean, I was going to pull out some verses. I'm not going to pull out some verses because we all know the verses. We all know that Jesus has said to go out to all nations, meaning it does not matter your ethnicity or your position within this world. And we also know that it is written that who is to know unless there is someone to preach. So that would mean unless we are willing to teach those who are following these demons, how are they going to know that they're following these demons? It is not for us to decide who is worthy of God's teachings, for all is worthy, and God would love everybody in heaven. He's already said it. So, who are we to walk away from someone struggling with a demon? And we can sit here and talk generally all we want to. However, it is not going to reach the right people. For a face-to-face conversation, a one-on-one conversation with somebody is going to hit harder than just some random video they see on the internet. Because you can actually, go into personal experience not only from yourself, but from them. You can actually allow them to relate on a personal level instead of on a general level. But for us to see a human being, a living creature, walking this earth, breathing, living, eating, as a demon, I find that to be extremely unrealistic. That would be like saying because you follow God, you are God. Because you have the teachings of God and you teach of God, that you are God. When we all know none of us are God. God lives within us to make us God-like, but we are not God. And what are we going to do? Are we going to preach to those who already follow God, who already know how to live, who already know what to do? Preaching to the choir, right? Or are we going to go out and seek the lost lambs? Will you tend to the ones that are herded? Or will you go and find the lost? It's a story, and Jesus asks a man, if you have 100 sheep, and one of them goes astray, what would you do? He says he will go and find the sheep. And Jesus says, so you will leave the other 99 to go and find the one. And after you find this one, you come back and you rejoice that you have found this one. When you have left the other 99, presumably defenseless. However, those 99 would remain safe, for there is strength in numbers. That one you would have to have a little bit of empathy, right? To, instead of see yourself as the shepherd, to see yourself as that lost sheep. And who knows? That sheep didn't choose to be lost. It was influenced to be lost in some way. Maybe there was a storm and it couldn't find the rest of the herd, and so it started wandering, trying to find the herd. Maybe there was a wolf going around, and it got separated. And so, will we stick to our 99, or will we find the one? Because there are many a lost sheep. Too frightened. Too unaware. And again, those who choose to follow a demon have made a choice to follow a demon. They themselves, forgive me for the wind, it's hot. I've already had to redo this video. Don't worry about it. They have chosen to follow the demon. Just as we choose to embody Jesus, they have chose to embody that demon. Just because we choose to embody Jesus doesn't mean we are Jesus. It means that we are Jesus-like, and therefore they are not demons themselves, they are demon-like. However, we all know no demon can stand in the face of God. And while you are telling this person about how they are following this demon, it is not them themselves that are getting irritated and annoyed and mad. It is that demon behind them, constantly jabbering in their ear, that is influencing them to feel this way. It is not a word that can alter your feeling, but your own thought of that word that alters your feeling. If, I don't know, just as an example, okay? If someone would come to me and call me stupid, it is not the word stupid that would make me feel a certain way. It's not that exact word. It is my thoughts of putting that word in association with myself. It is putting that word to someone else's feelings against me that makes me feel that way. Honestly, I could give a fuck less if you call me stupid. But, so it is not as surface level as we would like to think. It's not as cut dry as we would like to think. And God has already said everyone, all is worthy of God's grace. So who are we to choose? Who obtains the teachings of God? See, not all of us, but there are those who wait for these people to come to them. They do not seek the lost. They wait for the lost to find their own way. And then what shepherd are we? Nah, that sheep will come back. Eventually. Maybe. So you're leaving it to chance. I mean, in Genesis, it said God tells Abraham to leave your country and your kindred and the house of your father. Now, I take this as leaving your comfort zone, the country, and leaving those you know what God is, the kindred, and to leave the safety of that church instead of waiting for them to come to you, your Father's house, and seeking those who are lost. Because you never know. You might come across somebody who actually sees the demons that they are following, does not want to follow their demons, but they are too fearful because of those around them. It is up to us to show a different way. So, I just personally, in my own perspective, I don't see it as realistic to call human beings demons. They follow these demons. They embody these demons. And these demons can be casted out. It is our choice, us individually, to cast out this demon. No one can do it for you. But if no one is willing to try and help and to show you what needs to be done, how are we to know how? Don't mind me. I got my go-go juice because I like the go-go juice. So, I encourage you, if you see somebody who is following this demon, and it is not to say, that's, no. It is because you know what a demon knows? A demon knows war. And so that demon standing behind them, whispering in their ears, going to tell them all the little tactics of war. But you know what a demon does not understand? Patience, kindness, gentle nudges. That's what they do not understand. For they are impatient. They are not caring. It is not to say, you're wrong, you're following this demon. It is to say, I see this demon you are following. I see how this demon is impacting your life in a negative way. I see how this demon has turned you away from love as if love does not exist or love cannot be trusted. And however, God loves you. And this is why He has sent me to you. To show you love does exist. And to show you that this demon can be casted out. It is our choice. But, all right. I love you all. Big hearts all around to everybody. And I love you.